Howdy, welcome to video number 121. This video is on ratio and sharing into a ratio. So keywords are sharing, ratio and parts. When you're sharing something, you're splitting up, you're dividing. And the ratio is a number that is to another number. It tells you how many of something you get to something else. And the parts are the sides of the ratio. Now you say there's a left hand side and a right hand side. Sometimes there's 3 parts to a ratio or 4 parts. It could be any number of parts. But there you go. So method states to share into a given ratio, you must add the parts of the ratio together. These are the 3 steps you always follow. Add, then you divide the total by the added up ratio, so divide, and then multiply the answer by the parts of the ratio. So you've got 3 things to do, 3 things to remember: add, divide, and multiply. Doing this gives you the answer to whatever the question is asking you. So it depends on the context of the question. Now, number 1 asks us to share 360 in the ratio of 2 to 7, just a number into a ratio with just numbers, not too tricky. Right, so let's follow the steps. I'm not sure why I've got 3 answer spaces there, don't need those. But 2 plus 7 is what we would do, so let's add. I'd just like to put this in a little bubble just to show you what I'm doing each time. So 2 plus 7 is equal to 9. Then I'm going to divide, so reminding myself of the steps as I go along. I'm going to take the 360, which is the total, and divide by 9. Now, if you know what that is, you know what 9 goes into 36, it's 4 times. You just put the 0 on, right? So 40, lots of 9 in 360, and then multiply. So what this has done, this has told you what 1 part is worth. Okay, that is so important. Understanding what 1 part of the ratio is worth is the key to all ratio questions. So we've got 40, and then we're going to multiply it by the parts of the ratio. So 40 multiplied by 2, first of all, which is 80, and then 40 multiplied by 7. All right, scaling it up, but using an easier method, I think, because we could have some large numbers here. So that's going to be 280. It's 4 times 7 is 28. And those 2 numbers would always add together to make the original amount. Okay, so what we're going to do is write it again in a ratio of 80 to 280. Okay, now there could be some context there for us to help understand this a little bit further. And that's what we'll have in question number 2. Now, Dan, Ellie and Fiona share 450 sweets in the ratio of their ages. Dan is 13, Ellie is 25, and Fiona is 7. How many does each person get? Well, let's have a little look and write their ratios of their ages. So I'm going to write Dan to Ellie to Fiona, D to E to F, and then we're going to put 13 underneath there, and 25 there, and 7 there. Okay, now it might be a nice idea to see if you can simplify that. We don't think we can, all right? In fact, we can't. There's no number that fits into all 3 of these numbers, no times table that does. So we're going to add those 3 numbers together. So 13 plus 7 is 20, plus 25 is 45. Okay, so there's our first step. Adding gives us 13 plus 25 plus 7, which is 45. It's a good number to have because we've got 450 sweets, so we're going to do our dividing now. 450 divided by 45 equals 10. It's always nice to have 10 because 10 is easy to use as a number. So what we're going to do with each of these ratios here is we're going to multiply them. We're going to do the multiplying bit, multiply by 10. All right, and that's going to give us 130 for Dan. So he gets 130 sweets. Multiplied by 10 there. Ellie's going to get 250 sweets. And multiplied by 10 there. I'll just write it there as well. And then Fiona, she's only 7. She's going to get 70 sweets. And what those numbers should add up to, and what they do add up to, is 450. And that's how we've shared those sweets in the ratio of their ages, which is kind of a fairer way to share things, really, I guess, rather than in thirds. Now, in the third question, we've got a lot more happening here. So more context, more stuff that is maybe non-ratio related but connected. That's what these third questions are all about. Try and help you understand the more complicated things. So reading it first, in an election 6,300 people voted. 5% of the votes were for the blue party. 2/7 of the votes were for the yellow party. And the rest of the votes were shared between the green and the red parties in the ratio of 2 to 3. How many votes did the red party get? Now there you go. There's the ratio element in this question, and the sharing bit is there. right? But we'll just have to work some things out before we do anything else. So 5% of 6,300 is what we need to work out first. And you can do that by doing this. Okay? You could do it without a calculator, by the way, but just for the speed of things, we'll do it with 315. So that, and I'm just going to pause the video because I can hear my children coming upstairs. 2 seconds. There we go, stop them from coming in. So 5% of 6,300 is 315 votes. That's what the blue party got. I'm going to put 4 blue. Normally I love the colour blue, but not in this instance. Right, the next one is 2/7. 2/7 of 6,300 of the total amount of votes. All right, so let's get our calculator in and work that. Again, something that you could do without a calculator, because you could take 6,300 divided by 7 and then multiplied by 2. That is a number that is able to be done, able to do that with. But let's just do it in the calculator. 2/7 multiplied by 6,300, and then 1,800. So the yellows have smashed the blues there. Yellow, sorry. And then we've got to share the rest. So the rest of the votes were shared between green and red parties in a ratio of 2:3. So we're going to add those numbers together first of all. So that plus that, yellow plus blue's votes, is whatever that said, 2,115. All right, and then what we're going to do with that number is we're going to take it away from 6,300. Because that was the total number of votes. That's the votes that have already gone to those other two parties. And that's going to give us 4,185. All right, so that's what we've got to share between the red and the green. So it says green and red. So G to R is equal to 2 to 3. All right. Now let's do our add, divide, and multiply bit, and then we're going to work out how many votes the red party got ultimately. We're going to work out the green as well. We don't have to. So that number, add those together first of all. So 2 plus 3. So add 2 plus 3, which equals 5. Then divide that into 4,185. So that divided by 5 is equal to 837. That's what one part of our ratio is worth. We want 3 parts because that's the red. Okay, so that's going to be multiplying by 3. So multiply 837 by 3. And that's going to give us our answer of 2,511. All right, so there you go, 2,511 votes. Let's just work out what it would have been for green. So multiply it by 2, 1,674. Because in a question like this, you might be asked to rank them, who got the most and who got the least, or who got the least to the most votes. So if we had to do that, we'd have to have worked out all of them, all right? And it would have been, so 315, blue would have lost, they would have come last, then it would have been the greens, then it would have been the yellows, and then it would have been the reds, all right? But the reds, they're the red party, 2,511 votes. There's our units of our answer, always very important to include those. That's it, all right? So pretty tricky little last problem, but you can navigate through it if you know some other skills. All right, that's what these last questions are supposed to be all about. All right, so hopefully you're getting something from any one of those 3 different types of questions. Hopefully you've learned something. If you have, share it with me. Tell me in the comments. Let me know. All right, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy another one. Thank you.